I promised Omituntun. It's time to experience Omituntun. I will not rest until good jobs, thriving businesses, and quality education are the standard in Oyo State. Together, we can do this.
New dawn, after suffering for so long, oh, you get a new song, she is new dawn.
This is the Governor's office at the Oyo State Secretariat, Agodi Ibadan. This is the place where the decisions that affect the good people of the state are made. May 29, 2021 marks 2 years since Governor Seyi Makinde took the oath of office and officially became the governor of Oyo State. 2 years ago, he promised the people of Oyo State a new dawn. Has Governor Seyi Makinde kept his promise?
Ewu tí Seyi Makinde tó promise wa pé wọ́n ṣe sílùú fún wa ó ń ṣe a sì láìkì ìjọba ẹ̀ bó ṣe wà kọ́lọ́run bá wa ràn Seyi Makinde náà kó máa bá wa ràn lọ́wọ́ kó tún lè mọ́ tún ṣe sí i ju bó ṣe promise pé wọ́n ṣe fún ìlú lọ.
Orúkọ mi ni Oyèbísí Sá, mo jẹ́ engineer ọ̀kadà. A rí iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí Seyi Makinde tó ń ṣe fún wa ní apẹ̀tẹ̀ ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ní bíbá yìí, so I dey appreciate gan torí bá bí 2 years ago lápẹ̀tẹ̀ wa yìí gan a suffer gan, so débi pé bóyá àwọn èèyàn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ẹlòmíì tó nílẹ̀ tó nílé wọ́n kó kúrò ní bíbá yìí tí wọ́n kó lọ sí gbòòrò, bọ̀ wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run nígbà tí ọ̀nà ti dá báyìí nísìnyí kálukú ti get back, wọ́n ti padà wá sí àdúgbò, so adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run lọ́wọ́ Seyi Makinde pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa.
Ìyá abúlé sówó ọjà Kẹsàn ni mo la wà yìí, mo sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Seyi Makinde, ọláàrí ọmọ lọ wájú ọláàrí òní rẹ̀yìn o, gbogbo tó lóun fẹ́ ṣe àdúpẹ́ kó ń bá wa ṣe, ọláàrí ọmọ tẹ̀síwájú, nǹkan ò ní ṣe kò ní sọmọ rẹ o, ìrànlọ́wọ́ tí ń ṣe fún Ọlọ́run ó ràn lọ́wọ́ o, níbi tó dé kò ní takú síbẹ̀ o, yóò tún ṣe sí onínú ọlá ńlá àtẹ̀mí gbogbo àtàlàáfíà o.
Wọ́n try, wọ́n gbìyànjú, a ṣe ń rọ́wọ́ wọn, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ wọn, àdúrà tá ń gbà fún wọn.
Due to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, millions of jobs were lost. The Nigerian economy was not spared. According to National Bureau of Statistics reports, inflation was at a record 15.75%, the highest in 3 years. Is there any reason to be celebrating in Oyo State?
Yes, just being alive really is a cause to celebrate, and pulling through all the challenges that we've had to go through in the past year. So yeah, I would say yes, there is really cause to celebrate, and over this past 2 years, and the last in particular, we've continued to focus on the 4 pillars of our administration, and if we take them one after the other, on the economy, we have utilized where the area that we perceive as an area where we have comparative advantage, which is agribusiness. We have used that to drive our economy. And what you see is at the 65-kilometer Amaniya-Ishayin Road, which is the linkage between the state capital, Ibadan, to where we have our food basket in Okeogun area of Oyo State. And what you notice when you go to, when you apply that road now, is that on both sides of the road you have farms springing up because of the improved infrastructure along that axis. And also, if you look at the farm estate itself, we've awarded the contract for Akufo, we've awarded the contract for Irua, and we've awarded the contract for Fashola. And Fashola, they are currently even working on it. And
presently now, we are clearing, and after the clearing works has been done, we're going to have luxury estates in this place. We'll have hectares of farmlands subdivided 5 into 5 hectares where people can come, we develop for them, and they will buy into the farmlands. We'll produce different form of produce that will be used in this country. Also, we're going to have processing areas, crop processing areas, factories in which we don't need to depend outside again. We have everything we grow up here, we produce here, and we consume in the nation. Also, we're going to have, for those of you that travel outside every once a year or thereabout, you don't need to again. There will be sited here a 9-hole golf course at the Fashola Farms for you to come, bring your family, come and relax here. And as you can see behind me, this is Fashola in Oyo State. This is not anywhere in the eastern part of the world or western part. We have the beautiful scenery, we have the dam, and we have the areas in which will be well landscaped that will cater for your entertainment needs.
The government was able to secure the sole ownership of Lautech and put an end to the intractable problem of that university. So as of today, we have the sole ownership of the university. So you are also aware that since the commencement of this administration, the tertiary institutions in Oyo State have been enjoying 100% subvention. This administration has employed, in an unprecedented move, has employed 5,000 teachers to our schools, and that has reduced the gap, and the manpower needs in our schools in Oyo State.
We take care of somebody from the cradle, from the point of conception, so that we'll be sure of having a healthy baby with good follow-ups, and that is why we call it Omotidia, because both Oma and Divya, that is both mother and child, will benefit from such a program. So we carry that with the help and the assistance of supportive partners. And not only that, another service program, which she also mentored and monitored, is the cervical screening program, breast cancer screening program, as well as other related programs like high blood pressure and some other things, in which the most important aspects, when you screen and you get, well, they will be entitled to treatment. But because the healthcare delivery that His Excellency works is to be both promotive, preventive, curative, and database. So for those on the side of promotive and preventive, we've been having it quite a good of delivery. But one thing that opens our eyes is that previously, when the government says it's going to do this, people don't actually trust. So there has been a form of trust deficit. But we in the health sector, we are now seeing evidence of more or less an erasure of that deficit. People are now trusting because the thing goes into their head that anti-money looks so, So even before you say Ministry of Health, you had better add the word change. The trust has been built.
December 2020, the killing of Dr. Fatai Aborode, a People's Democratic Party (PDP) chieftain, resulted in tensions in Ibarapa land. Some non-state actors tried to take advantage of the situation, leading to this broadcast.
My dear good people of Oyo State, the past few weeks' events have made it imperative that I address issues that have to do with the internal security of our dear state.
Governor Seyi Makinde came under harsh criticism for his handling of the Ibarapa crisis.
Yes, actually, the challenge in Ibarapa, the security issues out there actually predates this administration. It was a campaign issue, and that was one of the reasons why we created Amatekun in the first instance. I visited Ibarapa myself. I stayed there overnight just to experience what the locals are really experiencing in that area. Yes, people think we should. People actually think we should be running from pillar to post, or have a knee-jerk reaction to issues. They think that is the idea of working. No, but we felt, sitting down, planning things out, and then moving is the way to go. And that's exactly what we have done at Ibarapa. We set up the war room March 15 this year, and part of the decision taken, at the war room is the issue of the entry/exit points into Oyo State. We have been able to validate, that pilot project at Mamu, where we see video and we see pictures of, people coming in and exiting Oyo State.
Most of all the security agencies in Oyo State, like I said, all were given vehicles to support them so that they can perform as expected. So he has done, because I served here before. I was area commander in Agudi, and for the period I spent, I've not seen governments that have invested in security like this present administration. I can say it and defend it anyway.
I asked somebody a few weeks ago what he thought life would be like in Oyo State without Amatekun. And the response was, look, this is unimaginable. And Amatekun wasn't here before we came in. And so we've been able to operationalize Amatekun. And they have been collaborating with the federal security agencies. And yes, in the beginning, they were working like competitors, but now we've been able to synergize between those agencies. So we believe also that we're moving in the right direction as far as security is concerned.
Governor Seyi Makinde demonstrated a strong focus on the economy, even when it was fashionable to enforce lockdowns. He insisted that all government actions would be backed by data, logic, and science. When the NBS released the 2020 statistics for internally generated revenue at the state level, it was again good news for Oyo State.
Well, the NBS reports only validated what we already knew, because we knew that our IGR went up. You know, when we came in, our IGR was about 2 billion naira a month, but now we are well above 3 billion. You know, what we got from the report is just how we did compare to other states in Nigeria, and I mean, it was pleasing that we did better than a whole lot of states. Actually, I think we were number 2, you know, in terms of year-on-year growth in IGR, and also in terms of food inflation. I think we're almost the lowest in the country. You know, so those are pleasing reports. And what we've done basically is Oyo State Investment Promotion Agency, you know, OISIPA, was just something that was being marked, you know, in terms of actual, you know, commitment, and then being a major driver of, you know, investments in the state. It was really non-existent. So we turned the place around. It was manned up by qualified people, and they have been championing public-private partnership agreements in the state, and we have a couple of public-private partnership deals, you know, all over. And also, they have been championing alternative project funding approach, because we can't get a lot of money in bulk. I mean, the pandemic, you know, affected almost everything, but in spite of that, we were able to, you know, still push our economy forward. So, and what we basically do is the whole contracting model, we have to look for 30% to even start a project off. But with this model, and with you know, improvement in our IGR, with people having confidence in our economy, they finish the project at 30% payment, and they collect through the instrument of ISPO, you know, the balance over a period of time, and that period is not exceeding 12 months. It's why when we tell people that all the projects that we've commenced, you know, are actually going to be finished by this administration, and with $1 billion naira improvement or increase in our IGR, what it means is that we can do 12 billion naira worth of project, you know, for that year. So we're doing okay economically, and NPS just basically validated our position.
What we've been able to do in the last year is that we have tried to stimulate the economy of the state. His Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, in the person of Engineer Seyi Makinde, approved a 1 billion naira stimulus package for MSMEs. And basically what we've done is that we've been able to use 4 microfinance banks within Oyo State to give single-digit loans to businesses.
on site seriously in January, and we have done so far. You have seen what is going on. The whole lot of this place is completed. We are doing the flooring. We have started the flooring by tomorrow. There are the tiling works, the marble works, and so. And the ceiling is completed. The electrical cables and wire have been laid. And the last floor of this building has been casted. They are the surface floor slab, and we are at the roof level.
One of the major projects that we have domiciled in this ministry is the Light Up Oyo project. This project started off phase one, I think, had about 18.5 kilometers of public lighting infrastructure. When we started reviewing the impact that had, first and foremost, the data suggests that where you have public lighting available, criminal activity is reduced. So naturally, we've already hit one of the four major points of the four major agenda of the administration. Secondly, we also found that traders who trade in those areas actually stay later into the evenings to continue their business activities. So again, we're affecting the economic capacity of residents in the state. So I think in terms of being able to have an impact in people's lives, the Light Up Oyo project clearly hits at least two of those. And naturally, this has also been extended to selected hospitals around the state that are also getting public lighting facility. So we're also actually impacting on the healthcare aspects of it, of our four cardinal points as well.
It's become necessary to use a new terminology of agribusiness to meet up with what is required in the modern day agriculture. Okay, so agriculture that we have been practicing up until now, especially in the developing world and in a country like Nigeria, was practically focused on the technical side of agriculture, or the technical side of it. People said the culture of agriculture, that we focus more on the culture side rather than the business and the management side. While agribusiness is a combination of the technical, the business, and the management. And in this modern age, what is required to be able to get into the space of the level we want to get to in ensuring that agriculture support the economy of our country or our state is agribusiness. You need to understand the technical, you need to understand the business, and you need to understand the management.
Last year, the governor considered the smallholder farmers. That's why we empower them with the seedlings distributed across the states, which make us arrive at where we are today. We are leading Oyo State, leading Nigeria on the current, because when we talk of security, the most security thing we know is food. Once you can't eat, you don't die already. And this government does not look at that side alone. We want to give you good food. That's the security in the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, the rain is coming. The ministry are dealing with smallholders farmers. Here are the extension officers. Our extension officers have been moving around to dialogue and put our farmers right because of this climate change. Some people may planted at wrong time now. Some people have planted maize and off the field because of absence of rain. So our extension officers have been going around the state where we have them in all local government and the headquarters here in the ministry. They have been working with smallholders farmers. And we are putting in place of what we want to do for them. This rainy season, they need chemicals, they need fertilizers, they need sprayers, they need some small tools to help them. Thank God we have some big farmers around us now to help our smallholders. We have some big farmers that have tractors, and we have been dealing with them, approaching them, so that they will reduce the cost of how they are applying an acre for them. This is ongoing. We focus them because the food we are eating, 70% of it is from smallholders farmers. So now I believe by the time we do all this, plus the one we've done before, I believe this year will be better than that of last year.
Dispense dividend of democracy, oh, down to every corner we know.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba gómìnà wa Seyi Makinde, so kí wọ́n sì máa fi ná èròǹgbà wọn kí wọ́n fáwọn àgbẹ̀ náà lọ́kọ̀ tuntun kí wọ́n sì ràn lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ fún wa ká máa rí lò.
I discovered that there were a lot of youths not in agriculture and our population were aged farmers. I decided to go into agriculture because I thought it was important to keep feeding the nation. Oyo State has different regions, and the region where we're in is suitable enough to cultivate good quality vegetables and fruits. Also, why Oyo State is because Oyo State is open for business. Oyo State, before 2019, Simply Green had not benefited from the previous administration, but since Engineer Seyi Makinde took power in 2019, we've had a lot of collaborations with the Oyo State government, which has benefited us immensely. One big advantage of this government is the creation of Oysada, run by Dr. Debo Akonde. Oysada has really opened the door to agribusiness in Oyo State, and which we're benefiting from. So far, so good. We have benefited a lot from the Oyo State government. We were focusing on dry season agriculture, and our biggest problem was irrigating during the dry season. But thanks to His Excellency, Governor Seyi Makinde, we've been able to get an excavator and a bulldozer from Ido local government, which is used for agriculture, which is meant to be used for agriculture. By us getting access to this machinery, we've been able to build our own irrigation channels. We are currently building a dam and excavating a certain amount of area where we can actually store water for the dry season.
What we just did that was seemingly different, before somebody came to the office this morning and said, Commissioner, ever since you've been here, we've not had people bring placards, and especially is a, dire Shooting Stars, fan, and then we know how, the fans and the supporters, club of the Shooting Stars will always come around with placard. Either they are not happy with the current, management, or there's a particular player that they feel that, is not playing well, that doesn't deserve to be in the team, or there's one that deserves to be playing but is on the bench. So there's this civil misunderstanding, between the club, the management, and then the supporters club. So, but one thing that we've done, right, I believe, is the fact that we are genuinely concerned about the welfare of those people. So we don't just say, okay, go and play, and then, they are not happy playing. These are people that we don't owe them nothing. Before I came in, there are a lot of debts that, we met, before, the administration of, Engineer Seyi Makinde. But when we came in, we wrote, letters, we wrote memos that, we want to clear, all this, debt, so that when the people are happy, there's enough motivation to do the work.
So in Oyo State, as of today, in as much as there were efforts in 2005, also like in the last 4 years, but no government has gone headlong into implementing the contributory pension scheme. However, the present government of Governor Seyi Makinde is now in dialogue with labor leaders, with workers, such that the contributory pension scheme, CPS for short, will be implemented in Oyo State.
Now, let me emphasize on the roads. For the roads, we're looking at integrating the rural and urban areas. We're looking at access to farm settlements, and we're looking at ease of doing business. We can talk of the challenge Oduana, Iliwe Akpata, the congesting the challenge 1110 road. We can talk of the under G road for ease of movement of schools, students and so on, from the gate of Lautech to SL at Afolabi's residence. We can talk of Shaki Township Road. That's ease of moving people around, and even students alike. Shaki Township Road also passes through the Okyogo Polytechnic.
We thank God. I've been in this job or movement now for the past 26 years. So I think whatever I say, I will speak with some authority. We thank God. Hitherto, it has been struggle. Although our slogan is "the struggle continues." And we know that for an average Nigerian politician, they never give you anything free or without asking. It comes with struggle. So we are used to it. And in the past, let me say, apart from maybe Senator Oladoja's regime, where the struggle was less, the present administration is one that has given the labor movement less stress. So far, so good. There had not been an inkling of even giving a notice. We have not done that because before we ask, in fact, it used to be that the SA labor will say, "Double chair, are you sure we should not do this?" I said, let's make a move. And we thank God, like I said, in summary, so far, so good.
We have myriads of achievements occasioned by the magnanimity of His Excellency, the kind-hearted governor we have ever had in this state. First, steady and consistent payment of gratuity to retired workers. You will understand that in the past, there were backlogs of unpaid gratuities, accumulated ones, running to several billions. Specifically, about 28 billion was inherited from past administration. As soon as this administration came into power, he made a pledge to relieve the agony, the trauma of our pensioners who have suffered so much in the past. For that reason, every month, this administration released a sum of 180 million to pay retired workers on a monthly basis. As if that is not enough, His Excellency further increased the payment from 180 to 185 million every month. And that we have been paying steadily and consistent to all the retired workers. And they are very, very happy about it. And there has not been any hitch whatsoever.
But for every strength, there is a weakness, and there is a threat for every opportunity. So, what were the low points for the Seyi Makinde administration in the last year?
What happened, during the EndSARS protest? Loss of lives from the police and also from the civilian. And I was out there in the front line. I thought those were really needless, So, and as we speak, we're still grappling with the fallout from that. We have the EndSARS panel, still sitting. We're still evaluating the extent of damages that we witnessed. But that is actually not the main issue. The main issue is what can you do with human lives? When it's lost, that is it. And we lost quite a number of people in a situation that actually was needless. So that's a very low point for me.
ṣùgbọ́n a dúpẹ́ torí pé Ọlọ́run wo Ọ̀yọ́ fẹ́ láti yọ wá kúrò nínú ìgbèkùn àìní. Torí kò sẹ́ni tó lè sọ pé ìgbà tó ń rówó gbà ní. Ṣùgbọ́n nísìn gbogbo aráàlú gan ti nu àwọn gan wọ́n mọ̀ bí òṣìṣẹ́ pé owó yín ó tó súnmọ́ fẹ́rẹ́ báyìí. Wọ́n ó ti gbáradì. Irú ọjà Bódìjà nísìn wọ́n ó ti gbáradì. Gbogbo àwọn ọjà tó wà ń gbòòrò wọ́n ó ti gbáradì torí pé wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ọkàn àwọn náà balẹ̀. Gratuity wípé àwọn tí wọ́n dé ó bá 2009 àwọn tó ti retire in 2009 tó ń gbowó. Nísìn ẹ wo gbèsè tó wà nílẹ̀ tó bá ẹ wo bí tó san dé. A rí pé ẹnìyàn lómi àánú lójú òun gan ló wá ṣèlú kò wá jẹ̀lú. So a rọ̀ wọ́n Ọlọ́run yóò fún wọn ṣe. So kí wọ́n bá wa wo ṣe bákan yóò sì dára fún wọn. Wọ́n máa tẹ̀síwájú.
Àdúgbò tí mo wà yìí Olóṣogbo náà pé bíbà yìí Olóṣogbo ní Mọ́níyà èdè Àníbàdàn Lákínyẹlé local government. Wọ́n nípasẹ̀ omi tuntun àdúgbò yìí ó gbìyànjú gan, ó try gidi gan, ó ṣiṣẹ́. Àwọn kan tó wà níbẹ̀ tí ta tó fẹ́ òun ni pé wọ́n ti bá a ṣe ọ̀nà yìí ó yẹ kán wo àwọn ọ̀nà tó wọlé tó yẹ pé àwọn ọ̀kadà mọ́tò wọ́n wọlé síbẹ̀ ó yẹ kán bá a bóònù ẹ̀. Bọ́n bá tẹ̀lé bá a dọ̀dà sí kán bá a bóònù ẹ̀ lásán a máa tún rò pé ó tún ṣiṣẹ́ ó tún try sí bọ̀ ọwọ́ express road tó kàn sí láti bíbá lọ sí sàn ó gbìyànjú fún yẹn.
New dawn, after suffering for so long, you get a new song, Seyi is new dawn. Defend right of a common man, no development every corner, we no regret. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, ayo in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, ayo in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. New dawn. After suffering for so long, your state gets a new song, Seyi is new dawn. Dispense dividend of democracy, down to every corner with no regret. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, ayo in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde.
In the area of tourism, we have about 180 tourism sites in Oyo State. So, unfortunately, we have not been, the past administrations, not only one, but all of them, have not been able to promote that. So, when we came, I started promoting that, not only that, but all our tourism side. And we came up with a documentary, Oyo State Tourist Delights. So we selected major key ones and we did a documentary.
On tourism, again, where we have the tourist attraction is still towards Okeogun, towards the Ibarapa axis of the state. The road to Ishenyi is fixed. From Ishenyi to Ado-Awaye is maybe now from Ibadan, from the rail corridor to Ado-Awaye, now like an hour. I mean, that used to be close to 3 hours. And then if you make a right turn, when you get to Ishenyi and you're going towards Ikeregoj Dam, that also is a solid tourist attraction for us. If you take the Hanging Lake, which is the second of its kind really in the world, and also take the Ikeregoj Dam, which I mean I've traveled to a lot of places. The scene is breathtaking. When you go there, what you're going to see is something similar to what you see at the Jasper National Park in province of Alberta in Canada. So we want to develop that.
Young people gather round. I want to show you to show. In the village, not the big town. Bobo Higoro and everywhere. Nobody govern like this. Everybody they artists. Our faith now be the key. Your faith now be the key. We thank God for the blessings, all the blessings, all the blessings, all. We thank God for the blessings, all the blessings, all the blessings, all.
Our third year in office, we want to ensure that as many of our youths that we can take off the job market as possible, we want to do it. And when we do that, we know that it will also further improve our internally generated revenue because they become productive, they pay taxes, and then we also can do more in terms of expansion of our economy and providing infrastructure.
In a society like this, and we have our governor coming up with this initiative to engage the youth so we could make something out of ourselves, regardless of what we've gone through in our universities. So that is what I would say is fascinating about it.
Indeed, it has been a year of continued consolidation. Governor Seyi Makinde has remained true to his promise of bringing a new dawn to Oyo State. In education, in healthcare, in security, in agriculture, in tourism, in solid minerals, and so much more. The people of Oyo State are singing a new song in the marketplaces, in their homes, on the streets, and in their workplaces. It is the same song.
I enjoy ìjọba Seyi Makinde o. Omi tuntun ẹja ti rú, omi tuntun dẹ̀ ti wọnú ẹ̀. I enjoy. Títì tán tẹ̀ bá wa ṣe náà, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Bí wọ́n bá wa ṣe títì.
We then have happy for Seyi Makinde, Governor of Oyo State. May them God give us Alatia. And then Seyi Makinde to Allah made them become Alatia.
Mo kí Seyi Makinde orúkọ rẹ̀ rò torí ó ṣe tó fẹ́. Ó dẹ̀ promise wa kó máa ṣe dáadáa lọ́yọ̀, ó tún ṣe tó dáa fún wa lọ́yọ̀, ó sì tún ṣe omi tútù ti rú. Ọjà Akẹ̀sán wa ti di mansion ìsìn, everybody ti rí. Wọ́n rí, á tún ṣe tó tún jù báyìí lọ fún wa.
Mo fi tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ dárúkọ gómìnà wa, bọ̀dá mi,
bàbá mi Olúwaṣèyí ọmọ Mákindé ọmọ Ọlálódé ọmọ Òjé Ńpẹ̀tù ọmọ Rántìwẹ̀ bí òjò fún iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí wọ́n ń ṣe fún àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù. Ilé àtọ̀nà wọn lòun ní jí ó bàjẹ́ o, lórí ọmọ wọn ò ní rí dààmú, lórí ìyàwó wọn ò ní dààmú, àwọn ọjọ́ wọn ò ní fìnira ṣèjọba o. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ títí wa tán bá wa ṣe ní Apẹ́tẹ́ ní Akówó Àdàbà Súnlẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe àrọ́wọ́ wọn, Ọlọ́run san wọ́n lẹ́san olóore. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ àmọ́ bí atúnlẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wà lóòótọ́ pé òórùn pọ̀, gbogbo títì náà ń dalẹ̀ sí, ṣùgbọ́n báyìí kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́.
Nígbà tí Seyi Makinde tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ nípa ọ̀tún tá a rí gbogbo nǹkan change sí dáadáa nípa oko wa tá à ń ṣe, nǹkan oko ọ̀tá dáadáa.
Nígbà míì tí a bá ti rí aláàtì láti ọwọ́ báńkì báyìí àti rí Seyi o, gbogbo àwọn èèyàn náà ó pariwo níbo ni Seyi wà, aláàtì ti dé àti gbowó wa yóò jù wọ́n ṣe o.
Seyi Makinde olóríire ni wọ́n o, alálùbáríkè yẹn ni wọ́n o, a dúpẹ́ gan o, inú wa ń dùn kan bá ṣe rí nǹkan ṣe fún wa yìí.
New dawn, after suffering for so long, oh, you get a new song. Seyi is new dawn. Defend right of a common man, no development every corner, we no regret. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. New dawn. After suffering for so long, oh, your state gets a new song. Seyi is new dawn. Dispense dividend of democracy, oh, down to every corner with no regret. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. Hey, your people gather round. I want to show you to share. In the village, now the big town. Bobo, Higoro, and everywhere. Hey, nobody govern like this. Everybody they artists. Our faith now be the key. Your faith now be the key. Ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ o. We thank God for the blessings, all the blessings, all the blessings, all. Èrò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ o. We thank God for the blessings, all the blessings, all the blessings, all. Fidelity, accountability, integrity, transparency. What about honesty? Seyi Makinde. New dawn, after suffering for so long, oh, you get a new song. Seyi is new dawn. Defend right of a common man, no development every corner, we no regret. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. New dawn. After suffering for so long, oh, your state gets a new song. Seyi is new dawn. Dispense dividend of democracy, oh, down to every corner with no regret. transparency? What about honesty? Seyi Makinde. After suffering for so long, oh, your state gets a new song. Seyi is new dawn. Dispense dividend of democracy, oh, down to every corner with no regret. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. Ayo, yo, yo, ayo, ayo, in a safe and sound. No, this is truly democracy. Seyi Makinde. Hey, your people gather round. And why won't Seyi